Hey, Mahal everyone! Welcome back to the Broadway Saiyan YouTube channel. I'm 40, your host, and we are back again with another video on King's Knight, Wrath of the Dark Dragon. In today's video, we're actually going to do a little bit of a guide analysis. We're going to be discussing the shot damage that each character class brings, as well as the 3 unique shots that are currently available in-game to certain characters, and how they affect their DPS, and also along with their differences in speed and differences in range and things like that. You know, just something for you guys to, kind of understand how the shot damage works with each class and each of these different characters and what it influences as well, in terms of DPS wise. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look. So the easiest way to do that actually is we're gonna go ahead and go into the beginner's hall regarding battle, because this gives us a chance to try each and every class again. So, we're going to start off with Monk. So, let's go ahead and pull this off. Alright. So, if we notice with Monk here, okay, we know that she's a speedy attacker, yeah. Monks have the shortest range by far, but the more successive damage they land, and keep in mind, this is not damage just landed on enemies, but this also counts for debris. The more damage that she lands successfully, monks, the more range they gain on their shots. And keep in mind that the range also influences the speed. And look at that. Crazy speed, crazy range. And one thing that you want to keep in mind is that shots all across the board for all classes increase when you're close up to the enemy. So for example, well, that's a bad example because this Scorpion is level 1. When you get closer to the enemy, the shots go pop, they get even faster. And because the Monk already has the fastest shot attack in the game, it's pretty much like a huge amount of burst damage. But don't forget that with Monks, if you take damage or if you use their KM in the midst of the peak of their maximum shot range and shot speed, it's going to reset the entire combo potential. So just keep that in mind. But Monks, as far as their base shots, they have the shortest range, but they can also have crazy range as long as you're landing successive hits on debris and enemies. This means that they land, quite possibly, just with their shots alone, the highest DPS. They are tied with Gigants, and when I get to Gigants, I will explain why they tie with Gigants. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at Thief. Okay. So Thieves, what can we say? All right, we know that already. All right, so fairly fast speed. Okay, they are definitely the second fastest as far as shots wise. Okay. Range-wise, they are very comparable, if not very similar to Warriors. So they have the range of the Warriors, but they have the second fastest shot speed. What this means is that they really take advantage of their luck stat, which influences crit. And crit for Thieves is very, very important because that's pretty much how they deal their damage. Okay. Again, I wish the boss in these tutorials were a little bit better so I can show off just how much combo damage how much damage a shot does up close, because as you all know, the closer you get to the enemy, the faster the shot speed gets. And with Thieves, that's very important because of their high luck stat. That's just insane crit damage. So they're going to be critting a lot, and because they have the second fastest shot speed and some pretty good range similar to Warriors, that's a lot of damage you're piling on. Okay. Now we're going to move on to Gigant, okay? And Gigants are a little bit unique. Definitely more unique compared to some of the other classes. They were underestimated in the beginning, but now I'm finding them to be really, really good, especially from talking to the other members of this Discord chat. So Gigants, when it comes to speed, they're actually pretty slow, okay? But look what they're doing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, at max rarity, 5-star rarity, they fire up to 3 shots. Now, what does this mean? Why did I say that they are comparable to Monks, even when Monks get that, successive landing hits, increasing their combo potential? Well, when you get in close, and these shots increase in speed, this is crazy burst damage from a Gigant. And not only that, as long as you stay in their face, you are effectively increasing your mana regen, because every time a shot hits, you know, you get your mana back. And since all 3 of those shots and all 2 of those shots are hitting from this successive round of shots right here, you're getting your mana back, which means you could spam your King's Might more, which means you can take advantage of the invincibility frames that the King's Might offers. Okay? So that is really cool with Gigants. They may have the slowest shot speed, and as far as range goes, I think they're comparable to Warriors and Thieves as well, but because they have that unique 1-2-3, 1-2-3, when they get in close, that's a lot of damage. They deal quite a bit of damage up close. And because they're also so tanky, because they are the tanky class in the game, you know, they have quite a bit of survivability, and you can always fall back on using their shield when you hold the action button, just in case, you know, you start to be pinned down by the boss, because you gotta stay in close and things like that. Alright, so I really wish I could show it off again, but... well, we kind of saw it there. I mean, the Scorpion just kind of melted before he even moved. But yeah, so as far as in close, I would say Gigants, DPS-wise, are comparable to Monks. Monks with their maximum combo potential. Up close, okay? Up close. Speed, slowest, more than likely. And as far as the range, comparable to Warriors and Thieves. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to the Wizard. The squishiest class in the game by far, but it doesn't mean they suck. Wizards are actually quite useful. So Wizards, they're more known for their support because they're the healers, but let's see what makes their shot unique. Okay, as you can see right here, hey, oh, those bees just totally mangled me right there. They have the highest range, and also their speed, I would say, is actually comparable to the Warrior. A little bit faster than the Gigant, a little bit slower than the Warrior, but almost comparable. And look at that. So after every 4 to 5 shots, they fire 3 pillars, which is effective AoE damage in front. So these Wizards, if you like playing long range, if you like sitting in the back, especially because they aren't the most defensive, they aren't the most tanky class in the game, it's really good if you like to stay in the back line and fire off these shots. This is the class for you. They got great range. The DPS is pretty good. It's not the best, but having those pillars is really cool for clearing out, you know, the mobs that come at you, especially if they come at you in masses in the front. Especially if you're running low on that MP, that's what they're good for. Okay, so that's the specialty with the Wizard shot. And we're just going to go ahead and melt the Scorpion away. Alright, so when it comes to Wizards, best range by far. Speed, a little bit faster than the Gigant, a little bit slower than the Warrior, almost comparable to the Warrior. Overall, pretty good because they have that unique aspect of firing a 3-pillar AoE in front after 4 to 5 shots. And now we're going to move on to the last class, which is the Warrior. Okay? And we're going to play as everyone's favorite Warrior, Mr. Rayjack himself. Okay. So Warrior shots. Alright. So Warriors, I'm going to say they are a little bit, just a teeny bit slower than the Thief shots. They have the same range. But overall, it's a very, very basic shot. If we were just to compare base damage and base DPS and not factor in any stats, this would probably be the weakest of the DPS. You guys could argue with me on that, and feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. But having the same range as a Thief, but being a little bit slower, I would say DPS-wise, it's not the greatest. But what makes up for it is that Warriors are the most balanced class, and they have a natural high base attack. Because of that natural high base attack, even though their shots are probably the most lackluster compared to all of the other shots, it still makes up for it because they have that high base attack, so that means they deal high natural base damage. Okay? Alright, so we've covered the 5 different base shots of the 5 different classes. Now, I did mention there were 3 different shots that are unique, and they are unique to specific characters currently. Now, who knows, in the future, they may be giving these unique shots to other characters, but for now, they are only available to 4 characters. So the first one we're going to go over is we're going to go over the Drain Shot. And currently, right now, there are only 2 characters who have this unique shot. It is Morse and it is Gregor, okay? So we're going to go ahead and look at Morse, since he's right there. And we're going to take a look at the Drain Shot and compare it to his Gigant shot. So this is his Gigant shot. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, if we were to use his... So Drain Shot, okay? Same speed as the Warrior, okay? So it speeds up his shot damage, but he loses out on the 1, 2, 3. But in turn, it gives him more survivability, because each shot gives him a certain amount of HP back. Okay, so let's do that again. Let's just use Gravity Well so we can use that. You can see the Drain Shot. As far as the range, it's very comparable to a Gigant shot. It has somewhat of a short range, but it's useful, again, if you're running low on health and you have no way to replenish your health and you have no MP to take advantage of the invincibility frames that the KMs provide. So overall, Drain Shot, it's great for survivability. It's great for like a clutch if you're losing out on survivability, especially for Gregor. Same thing for, for Morse. Same thing for Gregor the Thief. I don't have him as an example right now. I'm totally letting this Goblin Sorcerer paralyze me to death, but that's cool. But what I am going to say is that for these 2 characters, since they're the only ones that have access to this specific shot, I'm going to say it lowers their DPS, and here's the reason why. Because it performs at the same speed as the Warrior shot, and it's at a single shot, for Thieves, it lowers the speed and it lowers the range, so again, lower DPS, okay? And for Gigants, it lowers it because they miss out on that 1, 2, 3. And even if you get up close with a Drain Shot and you have that natural boost in firing speed, it still misses out on the 1, 2, 3 shot that Gigants originally have. But again, Drain Shots are unique because they are there for survivability alone. Okay, that's what they're there for. They're there to help you survive. Okay, they give you health back, and they're there just in case you need to replenish your health. Let's go ahead and use that again. And I did forget to mention, as far as damage-wise, it deals about the same damage as a normal shot would. So Drain Shots also deal the same amount of damage as a normal shot. So minimal range, decent speed, but good survivability. So that is what the Drain Shot is good for. And right now it is only unique to Gregor and to Morse. Now we're going to take a look at one of the shots that has gained quite a bit of popularity. In the beginning, I underestimated it, but after some testing, especially by my good buddy Math, who is a member of the King's Knight Discord chat, he really made me a believer of the explosive shot, to the point where I kind of want to roll for Lancelot now. So Lancelot has something called the explosive shot, and right now it's only unique to him. All right, and we're gonna see why this shot is so good. So this is the shots, this is his regular shots right here. Now we're going to go ahead and activate his explosive shot. All right, so the explosive shot has the same speed as a Warrior shot. It has the same damage as a Warrior shot, but here's where it shines. Do that again. The explosive shot will hit enemies within its proximity. So if I hit one enemy and there's another enemy right next to it, it'll also hit that enemy. Now, what does that mean? Not only is that more DPS, but it also influences his MP regen. Because for every time a shot hits an enemy, you regain MP for that. And it stacks depending on how many enemies you hit, okay? So because of the explosive shot is hitting multiple enemies at once, you're effectively gaining back that much more MP from it, okay? Now, what does this mean as far as bosses? Now, with bosses, as you all know, bosses will have several different parts attached to them. And every time you break a certain part, the boss gets stunned for a brief moment, and you have that chance to pile on as much damage as you can. Now, an explosive shot, because it hits multiple enemies at once, that is also factored into a boss part. So, depending on where you're at with a specific boss, if your explosive shot with Lancelot is hitting multiple parts at once along with the boss, that is also effectively manipulating the MP regen. So Lancelot is not only dealing massive damage, but he's gaining that much more MP back, which means he can spam his KMs pretty well. Like, just as well as I would say Ray Jack can. The only disadvantage that he would have is if you've already broken all of the parts of the boss and the boss is still alive, then he can't really take advantage of that. But look at that damage. That is crazy damage. And as we all know, Lancelot has a higher base luck and a higher base attack than Ray Jack. So with that alone, he's actually dealing a crazy amount of damage off of his explosive shots and takes advantage of the MP regen because it's hitting all of the parts at once. So the hype with the explosive shot, I mean, I firmly believe in it now. Now I wish I had Lancelot. Okay, and the last character we are going to look at with a unique shot is none other than Ray Jack himself. We're just going to go ahead and tackle the 8-bit Knight quest here. We're going to fight 8-bit Tulfadan. Let's take another Ray Jack. So we're going to take my Ray Jack. Now, the double shot. What is unique about the double shot? Well, let's go ahead and let this start. All right, we're going to go ahead and activate it. So the double shot has the same firing rate as a warrior shot. It has the same range, but each shot in the double shot deals 2/3 the amount of damage as a regular normal shot. Now, what does this mean? This means that because each shot is dealing 2/3, Ray Jack effectively gets a damage buff of 50%. So he already has an innate 50% attack buff because each shot deals 2/3 the amount of damage. Now, what does this also mean for his MP? Because each shot is dealing damage, that means he doubles his MP regen. So it is a very consistent amount of MP regen that he is regenerating that is at a double time speed because of the double shot. Okay? If you pair that with Save the Queen, which is the sword that I have right now, he effectively gets a 100% attack buff because he gets 50% from the double shot because each shot is 2/3 the power of a regular shot. And if you pair that with the KM of Save the Queen, that's an additional 50% attack buff. So he gains 100% attack buff effectively, and because his mana regen is so fast with the double shots, you can effectively cycle through all of his KMs and have those buffs almost infinitely there as long as you're keeping an eye out on your MP regen, which, as you all know, double shots give a double amount of MP regen. So that is what's really cool about Ray Jack, which effectively makes him top tier next to Lancelot's explosive shots. All right, so I know that was a bit of a lengthy video, kind of wordy. If I stumbled with my words there, I do apologize. I hope this video helps you guys out in understanding the effectiveness of each shot that each class brings, as well as the 3 unique shots that are currently out in King's Knight. And hopefully, with future content, they will be releasing more unique shots and kind of giving us a little bit of more craftiness to work with all of these different characters. As you all know, I'm having a lot of fun with this game. They've given so much within the 3 weeks time that it's been out. The co-op is fun. I love the music. I love the graphics. It's very unique. And I can't wait to see what Square is going to be bringing us for this game. Again, guys, my name is 40. I'm the Broadway Saiyan. Be sure to check out my YouTube channel for future content on the different games that I play. And thank you again for watching my video, and Mahal.